Hello everyone, welcome to another episode of Music of the Week. I don't really have a lot to really self-promote or even say. Well, I have quite a bit to do because I got 5 albums to go through, so let's go through them as quickly and as best as I can. We begin with Godsleep and what I believe is their third album, Lies to Survive. This is a stoner, metal rocky sort of project with a lot of really heavy old vibes to it. And I actually quite liked a lot of it. I'm gonna give it a B plus. I thought it was a really good album for the most part. I quite like the instrumentation work. I thought the performances were really good. I thought the lyrics were a little bit strange because the band are Greek and English is not their first language, but they were pretty good lyrics for the most part, and they did use metaphor quite well. Yeah, the delivery was really on point. The production was quite good. I do have maybe a couple of issues with the structuring because the last 2 songs are about 7.5 minutes each, and the last song is just almost entirely instrumental. It didn't really need to be there, to be honest. Yeah, no, there feels like a bit of unnecessary fat around the album, but it's still a really well put together bit of stoner punk metal stuff. So I recommend giving it a try. This is a band I'm not overly familiar with, so it was really interesting to open my eyes. I think this is their first album in like 5 years or something. So yeah, it's been all since they dropped something, and this was a really good. This was a really good return, I guess, even though it's my first album by them. Still, I recommend it. Next we have HMLTD, no one knows what it means, with their second album, The Worm. This is a band I have covered before, and I can't remember the name of their debut, but I remember quite liking their debut. I think I might like The Worm more. I'm giving it an A, which is the highest grade in this episode. I like it because it's such a fucking weird album. It's basically a concept story album about a worm who wants to swallow the entirety of England, and the band are from England, so you know they can write that. I guess I think that's how it works. It's a very experimental art punk, prog rock, space opera, medieval thing that it becomes, and I recommend checking out the album stream on the band's official YouTube channel because actually with each song there's a hand that flips through a storybook and shows imagery which helps along. I thought that was very intriguing, and not a lot of bands have really done it that way before. I quite liked a lot of this. I thought the instrumentation was a lot of fun. There is some pretty good punky riffs, yes, but there's amazing string instrumentation, great piano work, a very well captured vibe for the most part, and it even lends itself to prog at times, but without going overboard and being overly fatty. The lyrics are an absolute standout as well. They do a great job of telling a story and conveying emotion and being bloody weird and actually shaping a great world around it, and I absolutely love it. Technical performances fantastic as well. Production really goddamn good. I quite like how it's put together. It makes an album that could have been a jumbled mess. It just makes it work somehow. Structure-wise, it's not bad there either. It's got a lot of really good pacing. It sticks to its core focus quite well, and it delivers on its absolutely bonkers premise. So, yeah, it's one of the weirdest albums I've ever heard, and definitely one of the best ones of this year so far. It could be a possible top 30 maker, so I recommend going to check it out. If you want a truly unique experience from a truly unique band, check out The Worm by HMLTD. Next we have Powerwolf with their 9th album, Interludium. Now Powerwolf are the only band on this list that I've done a backtracking episode of before, and as you know, I like my Powerwolf, giving this a B. It's pretty much their standard power heavy metal affair of what they do, utilizing things like Romanian and Christian legends and turning those into great stories involving wolves. It's just something the band have always been great at. Production's really good. I don't know if I said the grade, but I'm saying it now. Giving it a B. I think the production's really good. I like the instrumentation. The riffs are really strong. I wish there were more guitar solos, but I like this a bit more chuggy and a bit more breakdown focus in places. I think that's a really interesting change of pace, but it's not really anything the band haven't done. But considering that I like what the band usually do, I think it's a really good bit of stuff from them. Performances are great as well. The Grey Wolf Brothers absolutely kill it, as does Attila. Oh, I will add the other name because that's the lead singer. It's Attila Dawn. Attila Dawn, that's it. Okay, Dorn. Great singer. I think this is his best vocal performance in a long while. I love how it capitalizes on the themes. Production's really good. Lyrically, again, the usual stuff, but does a great job of the storytelling. It's a Powerwolf album, basically. So it's good, so you should listen to it because it's good. The next 2 albums are more or less sort of catch-ups from earlier in the year. First one along is Self Deception with their third album, although I did find sources saying that this could be their sixth, titled You Are Only As Sick As Your Secrets. These are a modern day sort of rock band with like a sort of alternative metal post-hardcore vibe to them, and this gets lowest grade in the episode, which is a B-, but the thing is, I don't think a lot of it is the band's fault. I don't know why I looked at my TV, there's only a video on in the background. It's interesting because it's got some really good like attitude towards it, but the thing that especially ruins it is the tone. It's just a bit inconsistent in terms of its mood. I don't mind the performances, I think the riffs are really goddamn good. I like most of the lyrics, again, even though, you know, these are a band not from an English-speaking country, they're from Sweden. They do utilise the lyricism quite well. It just feels weird in terms of its writing, it feels weird tonally. Again, production-wise is really, really good. Structure-wise it's not terrible, but, you know, again, the conflicting tone is a bit of a deal-breaker. It can feel a bit not generic. I think it's something that like tries a bit too much at times, but it doesn't really seem to be able to stick to a core thing. I don't really know how to describe it. It just feels a bit weird in places. But it's not terrible by any means. I still think the performances are pretty good. The production is quite nice as well, and the instrumentation does fit the right mood when it comes along. I just don't think it's like a super consistent album, but still really solidly handled. And yeah, these are a band I'm probably going to check out a little bit more of in the future, although I don't know exactly how long they've been around. This is still one I would recommend giving you time to. And finally, another one from earlier in the year, this one back in January, and one I found out about through the only YouTube music reviewer I actually watched with any consistency, named Crash Thompson. This is Swiss Army Wife, fucking great name, with their first album, Medium Gnarly. And yeah, I really liked it. They're sort of a mathcore emo pop punky rock band in the same vein of like Hot Mulligan and Dogleg and Prince Daddy and the Hyena, and I'm not making any of those band names up. I'm giving this one an A-. I thought there was some really strong stuff to it. The only thing that sort of goes against it, it's not even something that goes against it, so contradictions, is its length. It's only got 8 songs and it's just over 19 minutes, but it is listed as a full album. Like, it's listed as a full debut because they released EPs before this. They were about like 3 songs each. But yeah, no, this is like their first full album, and there's not a lot to it. But you get a lot more out of it than you think. The riffs are actually complex and mixing the styles quite well. I like the lyricism. I love the optimistic and hopeful vibe to the lyrics. I actually think it's quite sweetly written, but they're being overly like saccharine or tooth-rotty, which is a technical term. The performances are really good too. Production-wise, it's left very raw for the most part, but it doesn't really need to polish things either. And again, for an album that's only like 19 minutes and a quarter, it's not a long album. It's, you know, it's more of a snack than a meal. It's a very, very long-lasting snack. I don't know. For something like this eclectic and strange, that seems to be the theme for the albums that stuck out the most to me for this episode. Something this short, I don't know, it left a quite lasting impression of me, so it might leave one on you as well. And that will about do it. That is another 5 albums gone through. From my least favourite to most favourite, I would have to say Self-Deception with Your Only Sick As Your Secrets, Powerwolf with Interludium, Godsleep with Lies to Survive, Swiss Army Wife with Medium Gnarly, and HMLTD with The Worm. Again, I recommend you check all of them out. You know, pretty good crop of stuff from last week, even though 2 of them were from like previous months in the year. Yeah, no, definitely worth checking out some of them. The next thing you'll see me for will hopefully be tomorrow night. I will be starting the Battle Block Theatre Let's Play with my friend Fen, my first collaborative Let's Play. That's going to be a lot of fun. I still need to edit the Ori Let's Play, but I can do that as freely as I so wish. The next thing I can kind of guarantee might be a Fight the Night review on Sunday, but yeah, no, I can't really think of much else besides that, so I'll see you all probably on Sunday, and hopefully tomorrow night and maybe throughout the rest of the weekend for Battle Block Let's Play streaming if you watch my Twitch, which you should, because it's fun. I'm gonna have a friend, I hope. So yeah, I'll see you all on whenever the hell I see you, basically. As always, thank you for watching. You're awesome.